Right, good morning, guys. I am showing you guys the coolest free wholesaling contract. Again, if you're looking for a free contract to use in your wholesaling, check this one out. My name is Mike Slane, the discount property investor, and I'm showing you a free wholesale contract today. First things first, you're going to go to cashoffercontract.com. When you go there, and I'm doing this on the mobile phone today, it actually goes into a little website. It forwards over to discount property investor. And let's see if we can see /contract generator. This is our, it's just a forward. So cash offer contract is going over there. Just a much easier way for you to view that contract, or remember, because this is so easy, so simple, really easy way for you guys to use this cash contract. Okay, I'm going to minimize myself here, and we're going to keep going through. So this is all on a mobile phone, guys. You can do this all on your mobile phone, and it's very, very simple. I'm going to do this slowly the first time, and I'm going to make another video about how quickly I can actually send a contract. So first one, today's date. This is basically filling out the contract. We're going to go through these fields, fill out the contract. Mine's auto-populated. You see down here on my keyboard, Michael Slane. If I click that, it's automatically going to fill out a bunch of info for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. So again, put my phone number, put my email address, company name. So if you don't have a company set up, no problem. Just go ahead and use your name. So I'll put Michael Slane. But you could, again, use your entity. If you have an entity set up that you're trying to buy and sell these properties in, super quick. Seller's email, I'm going to go ahead and send this to my work email. And we'll put the seller's property address. Now, note, this is not the mailing address. This is the actual property you're buying. So let's use just a Main Street address here. And you want to put as much info as possible. So you want to put the city, state, and zip code on this, because that is what the title company is going to be seeing. That's what they're going to look at. You need to use all that info for them, or provide it for them, so that it's all available. Next thing, we're going to use the seller's mailing address. So this is helpful, again, for title companies. This is info you're going to have to get over to them, and it's good to know. So again, most of our properties, the owners aren't living there. Not all. But a pretty high percentage are absentee or vacant properties. So we're going to put their mailing address. So let's put seller's mailing address in that field. And then here is our cash offer. So this is how much we're offering on the property. Super simple. Just fill it out here. It's in US dollars. Let's put $10,000 on this one. Now you don't want to put any commas or periods in here. It just kind of messes with the contract generation on the back end. Our earnest money, let's put $10 up. Inspection period. Now this is important to note that you don't put days behind it, because that's already on the contract. So I'm just going to put the number of days. So I can put 15. Here, let's do 14. So that looks like 2 weeks, right? 14 days. But if you put business behind it, that only includes the weekdays that are business days. So you're actually adding about 40% of time to your inspection period just by adding business behind it. Okay, so then acceptance deadline, let's give them 2 days, 3 days to sign it. This is excluding items here. So these are the items we don't want included. So let's say they don't want the fridge. So they're going to take the fridge with them. So the fridge and kitchen, they're going to exclude that. Here's our closing date. Now, real estate as a wholesaler, one of the things you provide is liquidity, and speed of transactions is huge, but real estate's slow. So I'm going to put a month out, because again, most title companies, you're going to say, hey, listen, I can do this as quickly as the title company is able to, but I'm going to give them a month, because that's a typical turnaround for the title companies these days, because they're so busy. So put a month out, and the date there says on or before, which is huge because that means, again, that it could be before that date, but it's just where you're starting. Closing costs. This is another thing. So who's going to be paying the closing costs? And above that, you see the contract actually says closing costs shall be paid, and then you're going to say by the buyer, or you could put by the buyer and seller equally or respectively. And again, this is a fun one because people frequently kind of ask about the closing cost. And in reality, they're not that much. Your closing costs typically aren't more than a few $100s on your sell side. Most of the costs of closing come out of the buyer side when you're buying the title insurance and maybe doing a survey, et cetera, et cetera. So you're really not negotiating a ton of money, but when you're dealing with a lot of sellers, it it is a negotiating item because people think it's really expensive. So it's huge. It's super, super helpful. So you can say, I'll pay it. So I'll say that the closing cost shall be paid by the buyer in this example. Additional terms and conditions, and this is anything. So this is if the seller says, we will only sell this if you can close on a Tuesday. I mean, again, just tons of examples of things. I like to put subject to partner's approval. I think we already have this stuff in here, but let's just put additional terms. Let's put subject to appraisal on this one. Appraisal. Okay. So then you have to confirm that you are not a robot. So we click that little box, and let's see, it may make me do a CAPTCHA. Looks like we're good. I'm going to double check we've got a couple email addresses correct, because this is actually going to send the contract to the seller, and it's going to send a copy to you. It's going to CC you on that email, so you're going to get a copy as well. All right, we're going to click submit. And here we go. It says your offer has been sent to the seller from your email address, and you have been CC'd on that email as well. So that's all it takes to send a contract for wholesaling, guys. So you can do this from your phone. That's what I just did. Just did it on my cell phone here. Wanted to show you guys how quickly you can do it. Now, talking through it, that took me all of about, what, 5-6 minutes? But again, if you are just clicking through these fields more quickly, I can probably send one of these in about 60 seconds. And we do it all the time when we're in the field. We send these contracts out. So let's see if we got the email here. And it takes a minute, mainly because we're sending this through Podio. So you can see on here, it says this is a web form by Podio. So this was our old CRM, and we built this so that we could generate and send contracts in our business. Now, Podio, we have access to the upper tier, and it allows us to create PDFs with information that we plug in. So that's what this is doing all in the background, and then it's sending that email out to your seller and to your buyer. So it just takes a few minutes to run in the background, and again, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you should see it. If you don't get a copy of it, that means that it did not go through. One thing, let me check here in my emails one more time. Okay, and I need to go to all mail because I actually have a filter set up. Yeah, all right, so let me pull up the phone real quick here. My Gmail, go to all mail, and here is that purchase agreement. So this is what you will see as someone who sends it or someone who receives it, because again, this is, if you look at the two fields, you can see who it was sent to and who it CC'd. And mine's a little funny because of the way that my email box is set up. But when you reply, when the seller replies, rather, they're going to reply, it's going to send back to your email that you filled out. So again, you can see we sent it to Mike at Household Easy, and there was my CC address. So that was your email address. You're getting CC'd on it. So it says, Dear Mo, please see the attached offer from Michael Slane to purchase your property. We buy tons of houses each month. Oh, and I'm blocking the screen again. We buy tons of houses. We typically pay cash, yada, yada. Now let's look at this contract. So I'm going to click on the PDF, and you can see that opens up. It's a little bit difficult to read here on our mobile device just because we've got a little bit smaller text. So we can kind of zoom in here. Most of the fields you'll see are bolded. So the agreement date there. We've got the address there under the property section. The following items are excluded. So that we typed that in, fridge and the kitchen. Our purchase price right there is $10,000. You can see that's filled out. Our earnest money right there. Closing costs. So this is all you need to wholesale, or this is the contract you need to wholesale a property. One thing that we did do on this one, and it's very important, is we put the lead-based paint. So I'm a licensed realtor. It's extremely important to have this lead-based paint disclosure, just so that you can either disclose it or they disclose it, et cetera, et cetera. So it's pretty important to have that on there. And then here's our additional terms, subject to appraisal. So this is being sent to your seller, and you can see we've got this cursive signature here that has my signature on it. And again, our title company even allows us to accept that as our signature. So we don't even have to go back and sign this contract. They consider it already signed. So now our seller will review it, and they can sign it and send it back to you. And there's your contract, guys. So that's all it takes, guys. That is a free, 100% free contract to wholesale real estate. You guys can find it at cashoffercontract.com, or you can check it out on the discountpropertyinvestor.com site. That's /contract-generator. So that is it. But cash offer contract generator, cashoffercontract.com. That is where you will find it. Use it, guys. 100% free, no strings attached. I think we do require you to sign up at Discount Property Investor. Just create a free account. That way, when you log back in and everything, it's got all your stuff there. We've got tons of other free courses on the website as well. So check it out, and please like, share, use it, and tell your friends about it. Thanks, guys.